Okay, in looking at my neighbor's engineering prowess and where you can see the natural water flow, this is basically the lowest part in the yard. And previous videos I've shown where the water comes over, it flows through there, comes down through here and out towards the lake. Now, I brought up concern from this asshole and his engineering prowess, which you can see. He's going, first of all, a third of this monstrosity here. Our property line is about right here, going straight up due north and south to the road. And this engineering motherfucker has got this, and then it looks to be like a 16-inch tube. That's about 20 feet. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. If you go on this side, this right here is in the line of Craig, the Lambert's property over there. He's got a 16.185 foot corridor to come down here. He's going to turn this whole thing into a freaking flood. Water drains from here this way. Water drains down through there. If you see the lower thing, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. But anyway, this is interesting. But our property marker used to be right here in the ground, and he has removed the pin. We're talking a 2-foot rod that was sunken in the ground by the surveyors. I've got correspondence with the surveyors for this, but what this thing is going to do is going to flood this whole thing out right through here. Clearly he's diverting the surface runoff, which in the state of Illinois it's listed that it's illegal. Most of the water comes through there. Previous videos I've had when it became a downpour flows through this area right here. Hence the looks to me about 30, maybe 20-year-old, between 20 and 30-year-old concrete that the previous owners had. So anyway, if you're walking out, it's kind of, the video doesn't justify it, but where I'm walking right now over the grass is all gravel washout. The grass has grown over the 35 plus years that is here. Here's part that's really visible, and this is where the main runoff comes through. But if you stand, and I'll squat down, now my eyes are level. He's thinking that water is naturally going to come, most of the water runoff that he's talking about is coming from up there, and the water runoff comes through here. Sitting out here many a night watching this stuff when it pours, the way the water runs through here. So that water is going to come there, and it's going to pool right there, and it's going to turn that, culvert into a water cannon, and it's going to wash out all that stuff. It makes no sense to me. It seems to me that with the culvert not there, and he would do everybody more harm, or good really, by putting the driveway. Aerial photos dating back to 1989 shows this road has been washed and moved this way. See, this is actually the line. This road now goes off at an angle and it originally was a corridor that run north and south. Now, his property does not belong, it doesn't run where the gravel is. His property, or the Culvert's property, that's their names, runs at almost a 5-degree angle. I believe the drone videos that I made shows that, you know. But if you get a compass line, and where the edge of the trees of my house, that driveway should come straight down at roughly a 0 to 2 degree off due north. Now the other part of this thing, where he has placed this steel barrier, post, chain, whatever, I'm still walking on my property. The neighbor placed this on my property. Now, when we first moved in here about a year ago, coming up on a year, we told him we had no interest in using his drive and would respect him by not using it. Still, he puts this thing, the obviously show I have not used the driveway. It has grown up in grass, going up to my garage. Now, the people that lived here before us happily shared this drive either way, no problems. I'm just not getting it. This guy is, he's a crazy asshole. So anyway, I had the power company, they ended up dumping all their wood chips there just to prove that we're not using his drive. We never have. But you can see the water runoff where the correct and the actual curve of the road up there, where the natural tendency of the driver is to turn towards the right instead of going straight and straight down his ground. So my property line is right basically here, going straight down, which is almost half the middle of the road going down at a line. It's not a piece of spaghetti, it's a bearing and a line. The both the natural flow of the land and the legal description on what we bought the damn property shows this. Now I'm walking up here to demonstrate. This would be the edge of my ground right here. Now measured over, and I made a previous video because prior to us moving in, when we were looking at the property, this Mr. Belts, I guess he's a squatter here, but the guy that's putting in the culverts, here's the view coming down. Now, where he removed, there's supposed to be a 2-foot rod that I have documentation from the surveyor, you know, where they would testify that they put a 2-foot rod here. I run metal detectors, dug around the gravel, there's no rod. Neighbors said the guy was out here digging and he moved it. Well, me and the neighbor Craig Lambert came over and found the end of his property stake is right there where his pin is. Now if you look straight up, it focuses towards the fence, which has been there in every aerial photo and runs due north and south since 1989 or 1983. I believe it was the earliest county photo that I could find. And if you measure over 16 feet, puts the property line right here. So notice he's got a no trespassing sign there, mailman, and you can see the direct line where the property line is and how it is. So that's enough for now. Just making this video just to show what's happened recently.